Petronas strengthens resilience amidst COVID-19 uncertainties. Klang Valley water disruption to last another 4 days. Thanks for joining us here on News at 10. I'm Brendan Lepol. Petroleum Nasional Berhad, Petronas, recorded a lower financial performance of the first half of 2020 due to uncertainties triggered by the COVID-19 pandemic. However, the group aims to strengthen itself by utilizing a three-pronged growth strategy.
President and Group Chief Executive Officer Tengku Muhammad Taufik Tengku Aziz said they are committed to undertaking all necessary options to recover, including reshaping their portfolio mix, retooling human capital equation, as well as ensuring future high-value returns.
Reshaping our portfolio mix. The scope of this group-wide exercise would involve high-grading our portfolio to balance between sustainability and ensuring high-value returns to the company. This means reviewing our geographical revenue and profitability across the globe.
Speaking at the Financial Performance Media Conference for the first half of 2020, he explained that the three-pronged growth strategies would provide insight to the group as 2020 performance is expected to be affected by low oil price and weak demand. In the meantime, Tengku Muhammad Taufik said Petronas would explore prospects in the renewable energy space as part of the three-pronged growth strategy. Petronas will also attempt to preserve cash and maintain its liquidity with focused cost compression efforts while considering future-proofing its leaders and talents. Petronas recorded a lower revenue of 34.04 billion ringgit for the second quarter ended of 2020 from 59.12 billion ringgit year-on-year, specifically due to the impact of lower average realized prices recorded for major products on the back of lower sales volume, mainly petroleum products, gas and liquefied natural gas, and processed gas. In a related development, Tengku Muhammad Taufik also announced that Petroleum Nasional Berhad will not reduce the number of employees or perform retrenchments, although the group is in the midst of executing capital cost reduction measures to strengthen its resiliency.
I believe the most prized assets of this company are its employees. We won't make this decision lightly. Now, the executive team, everyone here you see, deliberates all the possible options. We wouldn't be a responsible management and member of the board if we didn't contemplate these. With regards to the current position and my thinking, I do not want to pursue the path of reduction or retrenchment.
However, he said that salary cuts would be implemented across the board due to the challenging current market conditions, adding that the company is still deliberating on the actual amount. Dividends to shareholders will also be paid according to the financial capability of the group. It will also be based on Petronas' achievements for the next year.
Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin welcomes the French ambassador to Malaysia, Frederic Laplanche, into his office earlier today. In a statement uploaded on his official Facebook page, he said the meeting was centered around the diplomatic relations between Malaysia and France, especially taking into consideration implications of the COVID-19 pandemic.
The Prime Minister expressed his desire for Malaysia and France to collaborate in the production of the COVID-19 vaccine, also discussed with the palm oil issues between both countries as well as a high-speed railway HSR project. In the meeting, Tan Sri Muhyiddin stated Malaysia's commitment towards maintaining a good relationship with France and the prospect of future collaborations between the two countries. Frederic will be completing his services at the end of this month.
The Jendela Digital Negara Jendela plan will improve the country's internet network nationwide, especially in the rural areas. Speaking to reporters after launching the Tanja Merdeka program in Putrajaya today, Communications and Multimedia Minister Dato' Saifuddin Abdullah said Jendela is currently in the phase of improving the 2G and 3G networks to 4G, while the second phase involves the rolling out of the 5G network.
Dan dua fasa itu ialah sekarang ini kita sedang nak meningkatkan migrasi, mempercepatkan migrasi dari 2G dan 3G kepada 4G, dan fasa yang kedua itu ialah roll out kita punya 5G. Jadi program untuk connectivity di kawasan pedalaman dan luar bandar sedang kita tingkatkan, dan kita mengambil kira daripada pengalaman dalam COVID-19 ya, dan sebagainya.
On 29 August, Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin said the government would develop a digital infrastructure plan known as Jendela in a bid to improve the country's digital communications under the 12th Malaysia Plan. The plan will lay the foundation for comprehensive and high-quality broadband coverage facilities, as well as prepare the country for the transition towards 5G technology.
33.4 billion ringgit of the total allocation of 69 billion ringgit has been spent by the government for development projects as of 16 August. The total amount spent was an increase of 48.48% compared to 47.18% during the same period last year.
However, Minister the Prime Minister's Department of Economy, Datuk Sri Mustafa Mohamad, said the amount spent was not even half of the amount allocated this year, despite the fact that it's already past the middle point of the year. This, in turn, becomes an issue for the government as it strives to revitalize the economy, but many factors has affected the performance, including the COVID-19 pandemic.
Sebabnya banyaklah, antaranya COVID sudah tentu memberi kesan kepada prestasi projek-projek pembangunan. Jadi dalam pada itu kita dimaklumkan oleh KKR dan juga JKR bahawa kerajaan telah mengambil tindakan untuk mempercepatkan projek-projek ini.
He said this after a briefing on the upgrading project of the National Sports Council's 14-storey dormitory and podium. The project saw a completion rate of over 90% and is expected to be fully finished on the 30th of October this year. The site visit was parallel with the hopes of the Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin to implement regular monitoring of development at the grassroots level after the reopening of the country's economy.
Now for the COVID-19 updates, the Ministry of Health today reported 11 new cases, including 3 from a new cluster at the Semenye 2 Immigration Detention Depot, bringing the cumulative positive cases up to 9,385. Health Director General Tan Sri Dr. Noor Hisham Abdullah in a statement said the index case from this cluster is a detainee who was to be deported home but tested positive when screened at a clinic on the 27th of August.
The second and third cases of this cluster involve the depot's immigration officers who escorted the index case to the health clinic for screening. Following this, active case detection and close contact screenings were carried out, and a total of 269 people had been screened, with 123 tested negative, while the remaining 143 are still awaiting results. Apart from the 3 positive cases, Tan Sri Dr. Noor Hisham said another local transmission was also detected from the Telaga cluster in Kedah, making it the 8th positive case from this cluster. Meanwhile, there were also 7 imported cases involving 2 Malaysians and 5 foreigners from India, Saudi Arabia and United Kingdom. Tan Sri Dr. Noor Hisham also informed that 9 cases made a full recovery today, adding that no fatalities were reported and the death toll remains at 128.
48 individuals were arrested yesterday for violation of the Recovery Movement Control Order RMCO protocol. Senior Minister for Security Datuk Sri Ismail Sabri Yaakob in a statement said 47 of them were compounded while the remaining 1 made bail.
common offences include premises operating past RMCO regulated business hours, breaching quarantine order, and participating in mass gatherings without practicing proper physical distancing. He added that RMCO enforcement officers also conducted 58,000 checks at supermarkets, restaurants, and vendors to ensure that proper SOPs are maintained. The Malaysian Royal Police (PDRM) erected 79 roadblocks nationwide yesterday in Op Penteng, in which 83 illegal immigrants were arrested. Meanwhile, Dato Sri Ismail Sabri said 22,252 individuals have returned to Malaysia via international borders. All of them have been placed at 70 hotels and 4 public training institutes (ILA) in Kuala Lumpur, Selangor, Pulau Pinang, Johor, Sarawak, Sabah and Labuan. 8,985 of them are currently in quarantine, 66 were sent to hospitals for treatment, and the remaining 13,201 were discharged after deemed fit to go home. They returned from 32 countries including the Philippines, Thailand, Indonesia, Vietnam, Brunei, Qatar, Hong Kong, India, Japan, Turkey, China, the United Kingdom and the United States.
Coming up, Goldman Sachs acquitted of sale of bonds charges worth 27.2 billion ringgit. But first, Pengurusan Air Selangor Sendirian Berhad, Air Selangor, has informed that water supply to 1.2 million users in 1,292 areas will be affected for 4 more days. Now, this is due to contamination detected at the water treatment plants in Sungai Selangor, phases 1, 2, 3 and Rantau Panjang.
Chief Executive Officer of Air Selangor, Suhaimi Kamaral Zaman, said water treatment plants must record 3 consecutive contamination levels of zero threshold order number (TON) before it is considered safe for consumption. The contamination level readings are currently at 1 TON compared to 3 TON yesterday, and the water treatment plants are still not in operation.
Air Selangor telah mengambil tindakan segera dengan melepaskan air mentah melalui operasi pengepaman kolam alternatif Horas 600 dengan kapasiti 150 juta liter sehari dan pelepasan empangan sebanyak 500 juta liter sehari bagi mencairkan bahan pencemaran yang terdapat di Sungai Selangor pada 3 September 2020.
Speaking at a media conference in Kuala Lumpur earlier today, he also confirmed that those responsible for the pollution are factories in the Sungai Gong industrial area. One of the factories was shut down by local authorities and the rest are currently under investigation. In the meantime, water supply aid will be distributed through water tankers dispatched to the affected areas.
The Kuala Lumpur High Court today acquitted and discharged UK-based Goldman Sachs International Limited and its 2 entities in Asia on charges relating to the sale of One Malaysia Development Berhad 1MDB bonds amounting to 27.2 billion ringgit, equivalent to $6.5 billion. The decision was made by Judge Muhammad Zaini Mazlan after Deputy Public Prosecutor Datuk Mazri Muhammad Daud informed the court that the prosecution did not intend to pursue the charges against all the accused.
Goldman Sachs International Limited, Goldman Sachs Asia LLC and Goldman Sachs Singapore previously faced 4 charges. On the 24th of February, Goldman Sachs, through its representative Ng Keng Leong, pleaded not guilty to all 4 charges. In December 2018, Malaysia filed charges against the 3 entities for allegedly omitting material facts on the bond sales between a subsidiary of 1MDB and Aba Investment PJS Limited. The offences were allegedly committed at 1MDB Level 8 Menara IMC between March 19, 2012 and November 11, 2013. The company was charged under Section 179 subsection C of the Capital Markets and Services Act 2007 and Section 182 of the same Act, which carries a sentence of up to 10 years imprisonment and a fine of no less than 1 million ringgit upon conviction. The US Department of Justice estimated about $4.5 billion was embezzled from 1MDB between 2009 and 2014. On the 4th of July, the Ministry of Finance reported that Goldman Sachs agreed to pay $3.6 billion, equivalent to 16.6 billion ringgit, to resolve outstanding charges and claims related to the 3 bond transactions that the company had structured and arranged for 1MDB.
The inquest into the death of Irish teenager Nora Ann Quarren enters its 8th day today. The 14th witness, Ampang Jaya Deputy Police Chief Superintendent Muhammad Azam Ismail, told the Seremban Coroner's Court that 29 premises, including private resorts, were inspected by the Negeri Sembilan Criminal Investigation Department, JSJ.
According to Superintendent Muhammad Azam, the objective was to identify clues that may point to the whereabouts of Nora Ann, who was reported missing on the 4th of August last year. In the proceeding before Coroner Maimuna Ayed, he also said the investigation involved 8 villas at the Dusun Resort, including the one occupied by the resort owner, as well as 5 private villas, 4 of which were occupied, and 9 private premises and resorts. Superintendent Muhammad Azam also explained that his team was tasked with profiling the background of Nora Ann's family members, witnesses, which also included former guests, especially those who stayed at the resort prior to the incident, to obtain any leads to proceed with the investigation. However, efforts were fruitless as no new leads were uncovered. The proceeding was adjourned to 14 September.
A couple were detained with 214 kilograms of drugs in their possession worth over 535,000 ringgit. It is estimated that the quantity of drugs could have supplied around 140 addicts.
The couple were busted in a raid at a rest and a recreation area in Tapa Perak by the Bukit Aman Narcotics Criminal Investigation Department at 10:30 a.m. last Wednesday. According to Perak Deputy Police Chief Datuk Goh Boon Keng, all confiscated items were found at the back of a multi-purpose vehicle (MPV) used by the couple.
Dan polis telah membuat pemeriksaan dalam kereta, telah menjumpai sebanyak 8 beg plastik warna hitam, dan di dalam setiap beg tersebut ada guni berwarna putih, dan dalam beg guni warna putih tersebut telah dijumpai sejumlah 220 ketulan mampat yang disyaki dadah jenis ganja.
Tests also revealed that the couple, aged 47 and 32 years old, were positive for drugs. They were remanded for 7 days to facilitate investigations under Section 39B of the Dangerous Drugs Act 1952.
National 10-pin bowling ace Shaidatul Afifa Badrul Hamidi citing the need to find a more stable career. Yesterday officially announced a retirement from the sports after toiling for 11 years to bring glory to the country. The 29-year-old submitted her resignation letter to the National Sports Council (NSC) and Malaysian 10-pin Bowling Congress (MTBC) on Tuesday.
Sebenarnya saya mengambil keputusan macam yang sangat drastik ini untuk menentukan hala tuju saya dalam masa depan saya. Saya tak cakap yang bowling tak ada masa depan, tapi saya rasa cukup setakat ini apa yang saya berkhidmat sepanjang 11 tahun bergelar atlet kebangsaan. Dah tiba masanya untuk saya memikirkan tentang karier saya pada masa depan.
When briefing reporters, she explained that previously she had to reject job offers as well as contracts due to a commitment to the national team and a packed training schedule. While denying her retirement had anything to do with the internal problems in the team as well as in the MTBC, Afifa also admitted that she did not regret her decision as she has achieved her dream of bringing glory to the country. Among her best achievements include winning the women's doubles gold medal at the 2015 Asian Championships in Bangkok, bagging the team gold at the 2017 World Championships in Las Vegas, and clinching the trios gold at the 2018 Asian Games in Palembang, Indonesia. She also commented that she is not actually retiring 100% and will definitely bowl as a professional if there are open championships.
With that, we conclude this evening's news at 10. In our top story, Petronas strengthens resilience amidst COVID-19 uncertainties. Join us again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. Till then, I'm Brendan Lepol. Stay tuned to Saluran Berita RTM and have a pleasant evening. Good night.